welcome to the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network. I'm Jeff Brightwell alongside Kevin Robinson, and Coach about to head to the Conference USA Championships down at Rice University. We'll talk about that in a moment, but let's talk about this year. Going out of indoor into the outdoor track season, kind of what are your overall thoughts from this season?
Well, overall, I feel like we've done about as well as we could given some of the circumstances we've had to deal with. This has been the wettest outdoor competition season that I can remember. So, you know, it's frustrating in the sense that we feel like we put together a respectable team with a lot of talent, and then the conditions don't allow us to go out and demonstrate our abilities to the full extent. So a little frustrating in that sense, but you know, the conditions are the conditions. They're the same for everybody, and that's what I keep telling my team is, you know, everybody's got to deal with it any given day, so we've just got to be the ones that deal with it better than anybody else. And I feel like all in all, we've had a very good season, regular season up to this point. We're on pace to put more NCAA regional qualifiers at the meet than we've ever done in the past, and hopefully we'll add to that this weekend at our championship. So I feel like we've grown a lot, we've matured a lot. I feel like we have a group of very talented, very motivated athletes who give everything they have every day. So as a coach, I really couldn't ask for more from the group of people that I have. I'm really proud of them. That being said, now we shift gears, and it's championship week, so everybody's buzzed. The motivation is kind of off the charts, you know, and we're just chomping at the bit to get to Houston and get after it.
Kind of a unique year because as we started these shows about 4 or 5 years ago, you were wanting to kind of balance out both programs, and it seems that you've gotten that to this point now where both your men's and women's programs have balanced out. They're both competitive. They're both competing for championships. Yeah,
ironically, we have a good spread of talent across all event areas. I would say we're a deeper team than we've ever been in the past. And the dynamic is very different between the men's program and the women's program, where the women's team, we've got more strength on the track, and the men's team, we seem to have more strength in the field, although we're not devoid of talent and scoring opportunities in the women's field or the men's track. It's just the dynamic is different, you know, and I think a lot of that goes into the recruiting, and you know, the strength of the current conference that we're in is much different on the men's side than it is the women's side. So we've had to recruit kind of to the weaknesses within the conference. And we kind of have seen the culmination of that this season, where we've got strengths where the conference is a little weaker. So, you know, it's just really up to us right now to get into that meet and go see where we're at and make sure that we're ready to compete at the highest level.
I know one thing you've kind of repeated on the shows this season, and I'll talk to you about it now, because it seems like you've really enjoyed coaching these teams this year, is they're both self-motivated. You haven't had to get in there and do a lot of the inspirational rah-rah stuff because they have continually pushed each other.
Yeah, you know, it's really a unique situation for me as a head coach. This is the first team that I've had where we truly have weapons in every event area. You know, historically we were really strong in certain events, and at this point it's kind of a fledgling program, you know, and at this point I feel like we've got some depth, we've got some weapons, and you know, Coach Clark and Coach Fortenberry and Coach Frazier, they've done remarkable jobs in terms of getting their athletes prepared and ready. You know, they do a really good job of keeping their kids motivated, and we're no longer reliant on one event group to score the bulk of the points, where we have had that in the past, you know. So now, you know, we can have an event group that doesn't quite perform up to their ability, but we know that we have the other groups that can step up and really kind of take control. And, you know, if one person drops the ball, we got somebody else that can pick it up and run with it. So I think that's kind of what's unique about our program right now.
Well, let's talk about the championships that'll be down at Rice University this weekend. It's a good time to have them because they're going to be able to just be kind of free of exams, be free of school, and so, you know, mentally their focus should be very, very sharp and nothing else to worry about.
Yeah, you know, it's a little bit challenging to prepare for a championship and at the same time prepare for finals. So the kids right now are in a pretty tough spot because they're studying their butts off, and they're putting everything they have into their academic performance right now, and then we're asking them in 3 days to put all that aside and put everything they have into the athletic side. So that in and of itself is challenging. But we have a very academically sound team, and they've put themselves in a position academically where they don't have to stress at the end of the year, which has been an issue in the past. So that being said, we get to turn things off here in another 2 days and just be athletes for a little while. And I think when we have that opportunity, things really come together.
Talk about the meet down at Rice. How do you like the facility down there? And talk about just the competition.
Well, to me, a track is a track. They're all 400 meters long, and once we get on that track, we've just got to step up and do what we can do. As long as we perform to our abilities, then we're going to be extremely competitive. The facility is fine. I've got no complaints, no issues with it. I wish it was a little bit closer. We've got 3 different groups traveling at 3 different times to get down there, so that's a bit of a challenge. But you know what? We just got to go and get ready and perform, and I think we'll be ready.
It'll be kind of the end of an era for Memphis. It'll be the last Conference USA Championships you guys will participate in.
Yeah, my first outdoor championship as a head coach was at Rice, and my last outdoor Conference USA Championship will be at Rice. So it's a fitting way to kind of close things out. And ironically, we won that first year, so hopefully we can reproduce that feat again.
Well, if you have a good meet, the NCAA East Championships starting up after that in Greensboro, North Carolina. So a good weekend could really translate into a very strong NCAA showing.
Yeah, we're certainly going to have a presence at the regional championship. As of now, we've got 18 athletes that are qualified as we sit and speak. Now, there's still another week to qualify, so that means a couple could get bumped out, but the way I look at it, it gives us an opportunity to bump a few others out and put ourselves in a better position. So I told the team at the beginning of the year that we were going to put 20 athletes at that regional meet. The most we've ever had at this institution is 13. So, the goal's still 20. We're 2 short right now, so we need 2 people at this meet this weekend to step up and earn a ticket.
And of course, for those that are unfamiliar with how the NCAA works as far as track and field, the athletes that qualify as individuals are actually make up your team. It's not like the whole group goes. You've got to qualify, and whether you send 1 athlete or 20 as your goal is, that is the team that's represented the NCAA. Yeah,
whatever University of Memphis athlete were to qualify to the NCAA final round, which will be in Eugene, Oregon this year, whatever athlete qualifies, if they get into that meet and they score, then their score will be the University of Memphis track and field placing as a team at the national meet. So you can have 1 person score for the team, you can have 20 people score for the team. So there is no actual team qualifying. It's just whatever individuals make it, whatever relays make it, they comprise the team, and that would be our Memphis scoring.
And one more thing, Coach, going down to Rice, we talked about it before we started recording. They're calling for some rain down there, but everyone's got to run at it and everyone's got to deal with it. I guess you tell the athletes, just do your best when you're called on. If you got to sit through a delay, just sit through it and be ready to go when your number's called.
Yeah, we've become quite proficient at training in the rain and competing in the rain and dealing with adverse conditions. We've done it in all but 2 meets this year. So I can just tell the team, look, if anybody's prepared for bad weather and bad conditions, it's going to be us. So, we just have to go do our job, regardless of the conditions, regardless of the adversity that's placed in front of us. We have to do our job, and as long as we do that, we can count on somebody else not. And that's the way we're going to approach this thing, and we're going to do the best we can, not worry about what anybody else does, and at the end of it all, we'll see where the tallies come up.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Thank you.
That is Kevin Robinson. I'm Jeff Brightwell for the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network.